Hey everyone, and welcome back to Tell Me More Stories Told His podcast. You ready to dive into another story with us?
Absolutely. I'm always excited to explore the lives of these incredible figures.
Today we're taking a deep dive into the world of Jay-Z.
Mm-hmm.
From rapper to business mogul to cultural icon. He's a true legend.
Yeah, his journey is a testament to the power of ambition, resilience, and constantly pushing boundaries. I mean, think about it, from Marcy projects to a global empire worth billions. It's mind-blowing.
So let's rewind back to the beginning. Paint a picture of Jay-Z's early life for us. Where did it all start?
Well, picture Brooklyn in the 80s. Marcy projects, a tough neighborhood where opportunities were scarce. Jay-Z, real name, Shawn Corey Carter, grew up in the heart of it. Faced poverty, hardship, you name it.
It wasn't exactly a recipe for success, was it?
Not on the surface, right? But even then, there's something different about Jay-Z. Drive, a hustle, an entrepreneurial spirit that set him apart.
Right, I've heard stories about him selling CDs out of his car back then.
Exactly. He was a natural hustler, always looking for an angle. You could see the business acumen brewing even then, understanding the value of independence way before most people even think about it.
It's like he had this innate understanding of the streets and how to navigate them.
Absolutely.
Mm.
He learned to leverage his environment to his advantage. He wasn't afraid to grind, to put in the work, and that work ethic would become a defining characteristic throughout his career.
So this hustle, this drive, led him to music.
Music was his outlet, his escape, but it was also his ticket out of Marcy. It became his voice, a way to express the realities of his life and the lives of those around him.
And those early experiences, those struggles, they really shaped his music, didn't they?
They're woven into the fabric of his lyrics. The grit, the determination, the ambition, it all stems from those early days in Brooklyn.
I mean, his debut album, Reasonable Doubt, is a perfect example of that, right? Raw, honest, and unapologetically authentic.
Exactly. It was a game changer. Put him on the map. Established him as a serious force in hip-hop, showcased his lyrical prowess and his ability to tell stories that resonated with audiences.
It wasn't just about catchy beats and rhymes. It was about real-life experiences and observations.
He wasn't afraid to be vulnerable, to expose his flaws, to delve into the complexities of street life. It was a raw and honest portrayal of a young man navigating a challenging world.
And that authenticity, that rawness, that's what connected with people, right?
Absolutely. It made him relatable. Even if you didn't come from the same background, you could feel the truth in his words. It was powerful.
So he's got this incredible talent, this drive to succeed, but he takes it a step further.
Right.
He co-founds Rocawear Records.
That's where the business genius really starts to shine. He realized that owning your masters, controlling your destiny, was key to true power in the music industry.
So it wasn't just about making music. It was about building an empire.
Exactly. He saw the bigger picture. He understood that to really make an impact, he needed to create a platform not just for himself, but for other artists who shared his vision.
It was a game-changing move.
Yeah.
It gave him control over his career and allowed him to nurture other talents.
Think about it. Rockefeller launched some of the biggest names in hip-hop. Kanye West, Rihanna, Beanie Siegel, the list goes on.
Talk about a legacy. It's incredible to think about the impact that one decision had on the music industry.
It's a testament to his vision, his entrepreneurial spirit, and his ability to identify and cultivate talent.
Now, before we get too deep into the business side of things,
Yeah.
I want to talk about that infamous feud with Nas. It was legendary.
Oh, yeah. A clash of titans. Two of the greatest lyricists of all time going head to head. It was epic.
It was a battle for New York hip-hop supremacy, each representing a different borough, a different style, a different perspective.
But what's fascinating is how they eventually reconciled, put the beef behind them, and even collaborated on music later on.
That's a powerful message, right? Even the most bitter rivalries can evolve. It's about growth, forgiveness, and understanding.
Absolutely. It shows that even in the competitive world of hip-hop, there's room for reconciliation and mutual respect.
So we've got this incredible music career taking off, but that's only the beginning of the Jay-Z story. What really blows my mind is how he transitioned into this business mogul.
Right. It's like he had this master plan all along. He saw music as a stepping stone to something even bigger.
And he wasn't afraid to diversify, to branch out into uncharted territory.
He saw opportunities where others saw obstacles. He was a risk taker, a visionary. He wasn't content with just being a rapper. He wanted to build an empire.
And he did.
Yeah.
He built an empire that spans industries, from fashion to alcohol to tech to sports.
Yeah.
He's got his fingers in everything.
And he's not just dipping his toes in. He's making waves. He's disrupting industries. He's changing the game.
Okay, before we dive into that empire, I got to remind everyone listening, if you're enjoying this deep dive into Jay-Z's world, Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any future episodes of Tell Me More. We've got some incredible stories lined up.
Right, don't miss out.
Now back to Jay-Z the businessman. Where do we even begin?
Well, let's start with Rocawear. His clothing line, it wasn't just another celebrity brand. It was a cultural phenomenon.
I remember those Rocawear shirts were everywhere back in the day. It was like a badge of honor.
It was more than just clothing. It was a lifestyle, a movement. Jay-Z understood the power of branding, of merging street culture with high fashion.
He created a whole aesthetic that resonated with millions. It wasn't just about the clothes, it was about what they represented.
Exactly. It was about aspiration, about success, about coming from nothing and achieving the American dream. It was a powerful message.
And he didn't stop there, did he? He saw those golden bottles of Armand de Brignac champagne and thought, I want a piece of that.
He was brilliant. He saw an opportunity in the luxury market that most people wouldn't have even considered. He entered the champagne game not as a consumer, but as a power player.
And then he went on to invest in Budweiser Select too. It was a strategic move to tap into different markets.
He was playing chess while everyone else was playing checkers. He was thinking long-term, building a portfolio that spanned multiple industries.
It's like he's constantly raising the bar, proving that there are no limits to what he can achieve.
He's a master of reinvention. He's constantly evolving, pushing himself beyond his comfort zone. It's incredible.
But one of his most impactful ventures has to be Tidal, right? I mean, he took on the music industry giants with that one.
Tidal was a game changer. It was more than just a business decision. It was a statement. He saw how artists were getting shortchanged by streaming services, so he created a platform designed to empower them.
He was fighting for creative ownership in the digital age. It was a bold move.
It was a risk, but he was willing to bet on himself and on the power of artists to control their own destinies.
It was about disrupting the system and giving artists a fairer shake.
Exactly, and it sent shockwaves through the music industry. It forced other streaming services to reevaluate their models and consider the needs of artists more seriously.
So he's revolutionizing the music industry, but he's also making moves in the sports world with Roc Nation Sports.
No, yeah. He brought that same entrepreneurial spirit to the world of sports management, representing athletes like Robinson Cano.
It's like he can conquer any industry he sets his mind to.
Yeah.
And here's where it gets really interesting. Remember how he was a part owner of the Brooklyn Nets for a decade?
Yeah, that was huge. He was a vocal advocate for bringing the team to Brooklyn. It was a symbol of his commitment to his hometown.
He was more than just an owner. He was a fan, an ambassador. He was invested in the team's success, both on and off the court.
And when he eventually sold his shares to Will Pan, it was a groundbreaking moment. Pan became the first American of Taiwanese descent to own a U.S. professional sports team.
Talk about breaking barriers. It was a testament to Jay-Z's influence and his commitment to diversity and inclusion.
It shows that he's not just about building his own empire. He's about opening doors for others and creating opportunities for those who haven't traditionally had them.
So we've got this incredible journey so far. Music business, sports philanthropy. It's mind-blowing.
Oh, we haven't even touched on his personal life yet. His relationship with Beyoncé is a whole other chapter in the Jay-Z saga.
Oh, yeah, that's a power couple for the ages.
Yeah.
Their love story, their collaborations, their family. It's all fascinating.
They've managed to navigate fame, fortune, and family life with incredible grace and resilience. It's a testament to their bond and their shared vision.
But before we delve into that world, let's shift gears a bit and talk about another side of Jay-Z. One that often gets overshadowed by his business ventures and musical success, his commitment to philanthropy.
It's easy to get caught up in the glitz and glamour, but Jay-Z has never forgotten where he came from. He's actively involved in giving back, particularly through the Shawn Carter Foundation.
Right. His foundation focuses on helping students facing socioeconomic hardships get through college. It's all about removing barriers to education and opportunity.
He believes that education is the key to breaking cycles of poverty and creating a more equitable society. And he's not just writing checks, he's actively involved in mentoring and supporting young people from underprivileged backgrounds.
He's a true believer in the power of education to transform lives. And here's a quote that really struck me. He said, "The greatest form of giving is anonymous to anonymous."
It speaks volumes about his character. He's not seeking recognition for his philanthropy. He's doing it because he genuinely wants to make a difference.
It's a reminder that true generosity comes from a place of compassion and a desire to uplift others, not from a need for accolades or attention. But as much as he values privacy in his personal life, Jay-Z hasn't shied away from using his platform to speak out on social and political issues he cares about.
That's right. From supporting Barack Obama's campaigns to speaking out against Donald Trump, he's never been afraid to use his voice to advocate for change. But as we'll see, his political involvement has sparked its fair share of controversy.
So we've talked about how Jay-Z's this incredible businessman and philanthropist, but what about his political side? Does he even have one?
Oh, he definitely does. He's been very vocal about his political beliefs over the years, but what's interesting is that he doesn't really fit neatly into any one box. He's not afraid to criticize both Democrats and Republicans, which is pretty rare these days, especially for someone with his level of fame.
So he's not just blindly following a party line. He's actually thinking for himself and forming his own opinions.
Exactly. He's not afraid to speak truth to power, regardless of who's in charge. And that's what makes him so compelling. He's not just going along with the crowd. He's actually challenging the status quo and making people think.
I remember when he publicly supported Barack Obama's presidential campaigns. That was a big deal.
It was. It really showed how much he believed in Obama's message of hope and change. He even organized those voter drive concerts to encourage his fans to get involved in the political process.
Yeah, those were powerful moments. Seeing a hip-hop icon like Jay-Z using his platform to mobilize young voters, it really showed how much he cared about the future of the country.
But it wasn't just about blind support for Obama. He also wasn't afraid to call him out when he felt like he wasn't doing enough to address issues like poverty and racial inequality.
Right. He even said that he felt disappointed by Obama at times, but he always maintained respect for him.
Exactly. It was a complex relationship, but it showed that Jay-Z wasn't afraid to hold even those he supported accountable.
Now, things got really interesting when Donald Trump came into the picture. Jay-Z's criticism of Trump was pretty sharp and direct.
Yeah, he definitely didn't hold back. He called him out for his divisive rhetoric, his policies, his treatment of women and minorities. He even called Trump a superbug at one point.
That was a pretty bold statement. What did he mean by that?
Well, I think he was basically saying that Trump's presidency was a symptom of a deeper societal illness. Like something that had been festering for a long time and finally erupted.
So he wasn't just criticizing Trump personally. He was actually criticizing the system that allowed someone like Trump to rise to power.
Exactly. It was a really provocative analogy, but it sparked an important conversation about the underlying issues that led to Trump's election. Things like racism, sexism, xenophobia.
So he was forcing people to confront some uncomfortable truths about America.
Exactly. And, not everyone was happy about that. He definitely ruffled some feathers with his outspokenness.
But that's what makes him so important. He's not afraid to speak his mind, even if it means alienating some people.
And I think that's what people respect about him. He's authentic. He's not afraid to be himself, even if it means being controversial.
Now let's talk about something that's often glossed over in the Jay-Z narrative, his legal issues.
Right. He's had a few run-ins with the law over the years.
Like that 1999 incident where he stabbed record executive Lance Unrivera.
Yeah, that was a pretty serious incident. He was convicted of aggravated assault and sentenced to 3 years of probation.
It was a dark chapter in his life, but it's also a reminder that even icons make mistakes.
Absolutely. And, to his credit, he's addressed the incident in his music and in his writing. He's expressed regret for his actions and acknowledged the harm that he caused.
And then there was that more recent allegation in 2024 that he was involved in a sexual assault incident.
Yeah, that was a very complex situation. He vehemently denied the allegations, calling them a blackmail attempt. The accuser later admitted to inconsistencies in her story, which further muddied the waters.
It was a he said, she said situation that was never really resolved.
And it's a reminder that the court of public opinion often rushes to judgment, and that there are always multiple sides to every story.
So it's important to be cautious and not jump to conclusions.
Absolutely. Everyone deserves due process.
But despite these challenges, Jay-Z has managed to maintain a remarkably successful career and a positive public image.
It's really a testament to his resilience, his ability to bounce back from adversity, and his commitment to personal growth.
So we've explored Jay-Z's music, his business ventures, his philanthropy, his political views, and even his legal battles. It's clear that he's a very complex and multifaceted individual.
Yeah, he defies easy categorization.
Yeah.
He's not just a rapper or a businessman or a philanthropist. He's all of those things and more.
And his story is far from over.
Yeah.
He's still evolving,
Yeah.
still creating, still using his platform to inspire and provoke. It's impossible to say what the next chapter holds, but one thing's for sure, it's going to be fascinating to watch.
Absolutely. He's always pushing boundaries and defying expectations.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what he does next.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the life of Jay-Z, let's shift our focus to his legacy. What will he be remembered for? How will his impact be felt for generations to come? So we've covered a lot of ground, right? From his childhood and Marcy projects to his global empire, his music, his philanthropy, his political activism, even his legal battles. Been quite a ride.
It really has. It's incredible to think about everything he's accomplished and the impact he's had on so many different levels.
He's a true icon, a legend, a testament to the power of hard work, ambition, and resilience.
And you know, one thing that really stands out to me is his ability to constantly evolve. He's never been content with just resting on his laurels. He's always pushing himself to do more, to be more, to achieve more.
He's like a force of nature. He just keeps moving forward, breaking down barriers and redefining what's possible.
And he does it all with this incredible sense of style and swagger. You know, he's always cool, calm, and collected. Even under pressure, he never seems to crack.
He's got that aura of confidence that's just magnetic.
Yeah.
It's like he knows he's destined for greatness.
And he's never been afraid to use his platform to uplift others, to give back to his community, to fight for what he believes in.
So when we talk about Jay-Z's legacy,
Hmm.
what do you think will be the most enduring aspects of his impact?
Well, I think first and foremost, he'll be remembered as one of the greatest rappers of all time. His music has touched millions of people worldwide, and his lyrics have become part of the cultural lexicon.
His music is timeless. Transcends generations. It speaks to something deep within us.
But I think his impact goes far beyond music. He's also a role model for entrepreneurs, aspiring business leaders, anyone who dreams of achieving something great.
He's shown us that it's possible to come from nothing and build an empire. But it's not just about the money. It's about the impact you have on the world.
He's used his success to create opportunities for others, to give back to his community, to fight for social justice.
So he's not just a rapper or a businessman. He's a cultural icon, a philanthropist, an activist, a force for change.
He's a true Renaissance man, and his story is far from over. I have no doubt that he'll continue to surprise us and inspire us for years to come.
Well, folks, there you have it. A deep dive into the extraordinary life of Jay-Z. We've explored his music, his business ventures, his philanthropy, his political activism, and his unwavering commitment to making a difference in the world.
It's been an incredible journey, and I hope you've been inspired by his story as much as I have.
And remember, there's a little bit of Jay-Z in all of us that drive that ambition, that belief that anything is possible. If he can come from Marcy Projects and achieve global success, then we can all achieve our dreams too.
So go out there and make your mark on the world. Be fearless, be bold, be relentless, and never stop pushing yourself to be the best version of you.
Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey. And don't forget to subscribe to Tell Me More Stories Told Us podcast for more inspiring deep dives into the lives of extraordinary people. Until next time, keep those minds sharp and those hearts open.